Hey guys, let's get out of American politics for a second and let's take a look at Australia. Australia is actually about to have a constitutional referendum where they're going to have the native Australians, they're going to have a voice in their own constitution. The Constitution of Australia actually has embedded racism in it, and I know the word racism is thrown around left and right, but after looking at it myself, what is it? Section 51, Clause 26, the Constitution of Australia gives the power to the government to pass laws based on people's skin color, as crazy as that sounds, and I'm about to show you. This is real. Let's see. The Australian Constitution, Section 51, Powers of the Parliament, Clause 26, and this is about taxation, commerce, things like that, quarantine, weights and measures, things like that. But out of all these normal powers, I see Clause 26. The people of any race for whom it is deemed necessary to make special laws. So this literally gives the power to the government to do. The government can say, you don't have a right to vote. And they can actually enforce that. Or the government can say, you're not allowed to live within this city. All right? This is a white city. So since the natives are treated as second-class citizens, let's see what the government's done to their historical sites. Rio Tinto says, sorry for blasting 46,000-year-old Aboriginal site. Oh my God, we're sorry.
Hello, I'm Tony Hayward, President and CEO of BP. Our accidental drilling spill again in the Gulf is a tragedy that should have never happened. And to all those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
Our ancestors from this country have left behind their footprints and walked all over this land.
These are the voices of the traditional owners in the Juukan Gorge in Western Australia's Pilbara region. It's a treasure trove of ancient Indigenous culture.
You see that there, the artifacts for making a spear, making shield and all that, you know.
People have been living here
for
the last 43,000 years.
But it's also on the edge of a multi-billion-dollar iron ore mine owned by Rio Tinto. This documentary was funded by the mining giant in 2015.
Oh, the company's name is Rio Tinto, okay.
As a way for owners to preserve the history of the site.
Rio Tinto is planning to expand their mine, and this place will be lost.
We're good on my people are fighting for...
Why is it at risk of being lost? Like, doesn't the government allow them to have their own land? Like, isn't there like a treaty signed? Like over here in America, I don't know how it's like in Australia, but over here in America, there's Indian reservations. And if you're not Native American or you're not in their tribe, you're not allowed to enter their land. They'll arrest you. They have their own government. They have their own police force. They have all kinds of crap. So why doesn't Australia have the same thing? I don't understand.
For our country to protect and pass down what we can.
The traditional owners' concerns about the mining activity in the area couldn't be clearer, and yet late last month, 2 rock shelters at the 46,000-year-old site were obliterated by Rio Tinto to allow for the expansion of the Brockman 4 iron ore mine.
I'd like to say very sorry to the Putu, Kunti, Karama and Pinakura people.
We're sorry. Sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
You know, this has rocked.
You're sorry. Have you paid them for the damages?
Me personally. And it was never our intent to cause distress.
730 has viewed a survey of the site from 2013. The 2 rock shelters, which were blown up, are marked as having high archaeological significance. The report also notes the gorge area is of high significance to the traditional owners.
We've obviously had some misunderstanding. We thought we had a shared understanding of the future.
Of you not knowing your place and shutting up so we can blow up all of your heritage?
Of the caves, that they would in fact be mined as part of our normal mining sequence.
The blast has reignited debate about a controversial legal loophole in the WA Aboriginal Heritage Act, known as Section 18. It allows mining companies to apply to the minister for an exemption to damage Aboriginal sites.
Obviously, it's not the Aboriginals. The minister is just some guy they probably pay like, $100,000 to, shakes hands, gets a nice kickback. He's got like a new pool on the second floor of his building. That is so corrupt.
The way the Aboriginal Heritage Act works is that it provides a process for licensing the destruction of Aboriginal heritage.
Even though an archaeological dig confirmed the significance of the site, Rio...
I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous. I'm thinking, can I go to my government and can I give the politicians some kickback money so that they can permit me to destroy some Native American ancient cave with like drawings and stuff on it? That's insane to me.
Tinto used a Section 18 exemption to destroy the rock shelters. Under the process, traditional owners don't even have the right to appeal against decisions made.
Yeah, because you've been conquered.
The only party who has an appeal right is the mining company or the developer who seeks the consent to destroy the site.
People are hurting about how did this happen.
Oh, look. Oh, yeah, this guy is obviously... Oh, dude, this guy swims in money.
And we can't
This guy drinks Aboriginal children's tears.
go back, but what we are committed to is learning from this incident and making sure that it doesn't happen again.
Sorry. We're sorry. I'm deeply sorry. Sorry.
So Rio Tinto is at this point saying that the only thing that went wrong here was a breakdown in communications and that otherwise your intention was to destroy a sacred site.
Our intent was never to cause distress to traditional owners. As I said, we went through a comprehensive process, ultimately resulting in a government approval with the full knowledge of traditional owners about excavating the site with the intent that we would mine through the site.
I can't watch any more of this. The people of any race whom it is deemed necessary to make special laws. That just blows my mind. That still exists in the Australian Constitution. So let's take a look at the voice. Referendum question and constitutional amendment. All right, here we go. So this is the constitutional amendment Australia is going to vote on this October. Recognition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Peoples, Act 1. There shall be a body called the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Voice, Act 2. The voice may make representations to the Parliament and executive government in the Commonwealth on matters relating to Aboriginal people. The Parliament shall, subject to the Constitution, have power to make laws with respect to matters relating to the Aboriginal people, including its composition, functions, powers, and procedures. I don't think this is enough. This doesn't delete Clause 26 from the Australian Constitution. So even after this passes, the government is still able to pass laws saying that you can't live there, you can't vote there based on your race. That doesn't make any sense to me. This is only a little bit. They need to be doing more than this. But either way, it is a step forward. Let's see what the Australian politicians are trying to do here. Let's see. Lydia Thrope says the voice referendum should be called off and attacks powerless advisory body. Senator criticizes push to enshrine an Indigenous voice to Parliament in the Constitution. Says it's an insult to the First Nations people's intelligence.
The voice is the window dressing for constitutional recognition. We have rejected constitutional recognition before. It is a 20-year-old Howard-era policy created with the explicit purpose of undermining sovereignty, self-determination and land rights for First Peoples. The voice is the easy way to fake progress without actually having to change a thing.
What did I say? What did I say? It didn't delete Clause 26. What did I say?
It is a destructive distraction, absolving the government of its continued crimes. We have done what everyone should do and actually analyse the proposed voice for the Conservative proposal of a powerless advisory body that it is. We are merely pointing out that there is no progress, that there is false hope, and that we deserve better.
All right, so it sounds like they're trying to add a committee of Aboriginals to complain to the government, and the government doesn't even have to listen.
This is why we should call off the referendum. It has caused nothing but harm and division. And for what? There won't be change until this society changes, until this society's thinking, values, attitudes and systems have been revolutionised in order to ensure real self-determination. We cannot continue the legacy of the Australian colony. Treaty provides us with the opportunity to negotiate on the things that matter to us. This includes, but is not limited to, land and sea rights. The courts recognise that terra nullius was a myth and that this land is ours. But instead of land rights, we got native title, a token gesture that has caused many disputes in our communities. And that
I can see that. Oh, you're just a native. Oh my God.
Can be extinguished by the government of the day with a flick of a pen. But we have an opportunity in this country right now to have treaties of the 21st century. And we can learn all of the lessons from our brothers and sisters around the world. Treaty is what we make it. It has to come from the people. And the best part, you don't need a referendum for a treaty, just a government who is willing. Senate seats can be legislated. Recommendations can be implemented. Change can happen. This is our chance to mature as a nation.
So she's saying she wants to call off the referendum because it basically does nothing. After looking at the Australian Constitution, after reading the bill, this looks like a bill that's made specifically not to give the Aboriginals any power. It's supposed to look like progress is being made for people that aren't paying attention. It's just something to make people feel good. But that being said, it should pass because the world is watching Australia. And if Australia doesn't pass this bill, the world is going to further see Australia as being the most racist country on the planet. Because if they can't pass something that means nothing for the Aboriginal people, and they continue to blow up their heritage and treat these people as second-class citizens like they don't exist, at least a committee that does nothing, give them that, and then go for more later. Design a treaty where their land is protected. And it's true, if this bill doesn't pass, it's going to show me and the rest of the world that Australia doesn't care about these people. Australia's constitution is blatantly racist. They destroy their ancestral lands for some money. Australia's history didn't start when the continent was invaded. And that's what they're treating it like. I don't think it's going to pass. I think Australia is that bad. This is my first video on another country. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and I'll be out with another one. God bless.